Hi and welcome to AGB Art. Tonight we will be painting an abstract landscape. If you enjoy the video, please press like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoy tonight's instructional video. Let's get started. We're starting with a 16 by 20 canvas that is pre-primed. I'm using a dark blue paint to draw in a horizon. I've got the canvas in portrait position, and I'm using the blue paint to put some color on the canvas. I'm adding a little bit of interest there on the horizon line, just so that it is not a straight line. And I would like to put more of the dark blue on the painting, but I'm realizing the blue is a little transparent. I'm adding a little more blue towards the bottom to make the composition a little more symmetrical. Next, I'm picking up a very light pink. I find that it is much easier to pick a lighter color, put your light colors down on the canvas first, because you can always darken them. Although acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, it still can be quite sloppy. So I'm adding this pink in here to look either like a dawn or a dusk sky. And I'm trying very carefully not to put it smack dab in the middle of the painting. I'm using acrylic paints, by the way. Some of them are mixed up with water and US or American Floetrol. This is a darker pink. I'm trying to add a little bit of shadow and to make the sunset in the sky look more two-dimensional instead of flat. I have a painting that I'm looking at to inspire me, and it has pink in the sky as well as pink, sort of a reflection down in the blue part. The blue is supposed to be the land, and the sky that I'm doing right now, that's pink with a fuchsia. I'm using a cup of water to clean out my paintbrush each time I switch a color, and then I dab it on a paper towel just to clean it off. So now I'm starting with some light blue. This is a sample paint that came from Lowe's Hardware. I have a particular painting in mind, and what I'm trying to do is make this very abstract. I'm adding colors, matching them from the top and the bottom, using my horizon line as the divider line. I prefer to have colors on not really equal parts of the canvas, but just something that balances the composition. I'm cleaning my brush off each time because I only have that one really nice brush. And now I've got some light yellow that I'm hoping will give the idea that either the sun is rising or the sun is setting. And again, adding a reflection down below. My inspiration piece has very obvious blocks of color on it. And you'll notice throughout this video that I start trying to make the painting look much more realistic, and then I go back and put blocks of color in, because the whole idea was a super modern looking abstract landscape. The background noise that you're hearing, that little whistling, is my furnace, and I really have no control over whether or not it's going to start whistling. I'm painting in my unfinished garage with my garage door open, and I know at one point in this video a large flying insect lands in the painting. I'm adding some color in to the white spaces, and I'm realizing that the paint is very thin. It's starting to look like a watercolor painting, which again, I'm looking for bright, vibrant blocks of abstract color. So I was thinking, if I fill in with the thinned paint, it will dry quickly, and then I can add more color on top of it. You can see I've added a more intense green here, and I want to put the paint in different parts of the land part of this painting. I don't want to have that green just on the bottom as a brand new color introduction. And I'm back to the dark blue. I'm trying to add a little bit of interest. This is close to the horizon line. And at this point in the painting, I'm forgetting again that the goal is the bright, vibrant blocks of color. And I'm attempting to make this look like a traditional landscape, although, as you can see from the painting, the colors are not really a traditional landscape color. I'm adding lines of blue and trying to create a more two-dimensional look to the land. What I like about the watered down paint is that I'm able to manipulate the brush in the paint, and I can create highlights and lowlights just with the brush strokes. Although I don't paint in watercolor, I think that that is a technique that's often used in watercolor painting. I'm just dabbing in color, trying at this point to get all of the white canvas covered. I've got my mind set on trying to make this look like a hillside. And that's where I'm coming from with doing these lines. Now I'm going back over the purple, trying to get the purple more vibrant and not so watered down looking. I'm working now to blend the sky because I've forgotten the goal of the bright patches of color. I've left the sky alone for a period of time so the paint can dry a little bit, and it seems to blend a lot better. That lovely light blue is a paint sample from Lowe's Hardware, and I'm blending some of the purple. You can see it's very white above the horizon. That's my goal, is to leave that light. It won't be white, but it will be a light color. Adding some more of the light yellow in. That yellow is also a paint sample. It's interior wall paint. I added some white to the yellow to tone it down, but here, as I'm using it on the canvas, it looks very bright to me. And I'm trying to put a little bit of that yellow in the horizon. Because the blue is still slightly damp, it's mixing a little with the yellow. I'm trying to very carefully add it closer to the dark blue without blending it with the blue. And I think here I'm adding some light pink because the yellow is a little too vibrant for my either very early morning or dusk painting. I'm looking more for a salmon type color. And now thinking that light blue is just a little too odd with the yellow, so I'm blending it. I make the sudden realization here in a few seconds that the land in my landscape looks too realistic, and the goal was the blocks of color. And I also realize I really like that sky, and I don't really like the land. I'm starting to blend the colors together, and at the next part of this video, I'll be able to speed it up. That beautiful sky is about to go away and become blocks of color. One thing I like to do is flip the canvas around. Here I'm going to leave the landscape side to dry for a little bit and work on adding bright colors to the sky. I realize the purple is too wet. It's blending. Flip it back over and look, there's drips. There's a drip in that white that I just want to blend a little bit. I like the drips in the yellow, and I'm leaving them. There's a little dripping of the yellow into the blue horizon line that looks kind of cool, so I'm leaving that. I'm going to add some brash white. I'm still not particularly thrilled with the purple side of that sky, but I think if I add any paint to it now, it's just going to blend. So it's got to dry a little bit. I really like the pink puddle that's in the landscape. This is where I am stopping tonight. There are still some areas of the painting I'd like to clean up a little bit and have more vibrant color splashes. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe.